Hey everybody, it's Emily, the Crazy Worm Lady. I'm here today for a worm factory update. But first I wanted to show you, I am going to try to harvest one of these trays. This was the bottom tray, and when I lifted it up and took a look yesterday, I realized that this stuff is really muddy. You want to be able to squeeze it and then have it flake apart on you, but it is entirely too moist. That's the only problem, well, one of the major problems I have with the worm factory is that because all of the moisture seeps down to the bottom, you end up, it's very difficult to keep the bottom from getting overly moist. So anyway, I dumped the contents of that bottom tray into this mortar tray. I did pick out a bunch of worms. I gave some to a friend, but there's still some babies that I missed along the way that we'll have to get come harvest time when I can actually sift this. But the reason I put it in this mortar tray was so that I can turn it up every day and allow it to kind of cure and slowly dry out. But you can see there's very little residual bedding or anything in here. I think this is going to be great to screen, really easy. But I just wanted to show you kind of one of the pitfalls I've found with the worm factory. But I will say that it doesn't bother me so much. I've got a lot of these mortar trays. I don't mind letting them you know, hold some compost and kind of be there as it dries out. I have a little bit of space for that, so that's no big deal. But we started that new tray last week, and I wanted to go take a peek at that, see how it was going. And I did take a little peek when I pulled this tray out before I counted out the 500 or so worms that decided not to migrate up, and it seemed a little bit dry, so we're gonna have to probably troubleshoot that today and get the bin fed up. Hopefully that will help with the moisture problems. But I just wanted to let you know you could take a little peek at what this is looking like, and I'll give you guys updates on the curing process of this and if we can get it to a screenable consistency. So let's go over and take a look at our new tray and see what we can do over there. Hey everybody, it's Emily, the Crazy Worm Lady. I'm here today with the Worm Factory 360. And I think they went through everything we gave them. This was the start of our new tray. And there's definitely a very good number of springtails, but that's nothing new. Some of my systems just seem to be plagued by them. But there's still some worms up here. Just, I think they're all looking for some food, because there's nothing left. Nothing at all. So, that's good, but still something we gotta take care of here. So, I want to take a little look at the level beneath just to make sure they haven't all retreated and to see if that's continuing to compost nicely for us. Alright, so this is the tray beneath, and I actually harvested the bottom tray. As you saw in the beginning, I have to wait for it to kind of dry out a bit, but still really nice castings all in all. But it does look like the majority of my worms are still down here where it's nice and moist, and I'm sure they're happy as clams down here. Although I don't really mind, because that's how they make us babies, by all staying together. But there's not really anything left to process in here either, so I'm going to need to stay on top of the feeding up on our new tray so that they move on up and stay up. Telling you, these guys have really gotten fat and they look really, really nice whenever I take a break from kind of feeding aggressively and then I start feeding normally again, it's like I forgot how big they can really be. But these guys really look excellent. And these, of course, are our blue worms. And as always, just threw some on the floor. Beth can relate. She commented before that she does the same thing. So Beth, that sacrifice was for you. And let me put this tray back on, and we're going to layer it up with some bedding and get a nice big feeding in here today. Alright, so I have my basket here full of newspaper and a little bit of packing. And I'm going to add a really healthy amount because it's going to need to absorb all of the moisture that I'm going to be adding with this feeding. And we already can see that the layer below is relatively compact, and if there's not enough bedding up here to absorb it, it's all going to run down to the bottom and it'll be so muddy. It'll be very difficult to harvest down the line. So that's a pretty healthy amount. Scraping out the bottom here. Before I add any food, I'm going to add some of my new favorite bug control, buffer, mineral combo. It's the diatomaceous earth, eggshell, kelp meal, and so sorry I got cut off there. Diatomaceous earth, neem cake, kelp meal, and eggshell. So I have a apple core, got a melon rind, very sopping wet at the bottom here, so I gotta be really careful. Pieces, it looks like from a peach, some banana insides, kind of got a little bit of everything, but I'm really wringing it out because this can absorb some, but it's not going to be able to absorb it all. Grapes, strawberries. I have some carrots in here. Some coffee grounds are mixed in here as well. It's kind of a little bit of everything. So it's a lot of food, but I am trying to spread it out for the sake of trying to make sure that the moisture will be well absorbed by the bin, so as not to cause any problems. And we did add a very good amount of bedding, and we're going to add a lot more on top as well. I'm hoping that that will be good enough, but we will have to wait and see. There's always a chance it can flood out. I'm just praying that I'm being aggressive enough with my bedding that it won't. Alright, so let me shred up some more paper, and we will top this all off. Alright, so I sprinkled some more of our mix on top, and my shredder is overheated. So I just hand shredded. I've been doing this some in my bins lately. I saw Lilia do it once. I think she uses it as toppers for some of her bins. So I'm just going to kind of mound some of this up. Let me do this off camera so I can get this looking decent, and then we will close it up for the day. So it may not look pretty, but I think it will do the job. I'm actually going to add an empty tray on top of this and put some more shredded paper once I get my shredder cooled down, because apparently I've put it into overdrive today working it. So that is going to be it for today. Let's fingers crossed that the moisture doesn't become a problem in here, and we will see what it looks like next week. So let me know what you think. Drop your comments below, like this video, subscribe if you'd like some more content from me, and I'll be back with you guys real soon for an update.